Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat. It's Friday before Labor Day weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here in New York. Hope it's going to be gorgeous wherever you are. Hello to everybody in the comments. Good to see everybody already mixing it up. Always thankful that everyone comes to talk some Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on Packers Daily. And of course, we always talk about Underdog Fantasy. It's the best and easiest place to play fantasy football for big cash prizes. On Underdog Fantasy, you just draft. No need to worry about waivers, lineups, or injuries. Underdog handles that all for you. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. You get free $25 in bonus cash if you use the code Cheesehead. That's code Cheesehead when you make your first deposit. That $25 is worth 5 free entries into the Puppy 3, a fantasy football tournament with $1 million in total prize money and a $200,000 prize for first place. Let's say you miss out on drafting Aaron Rodgers in your main league because look, there's only one Aaron Rodgers to go around. Unless you're on Underdog, you can draft him 5 times, and you won't even have to worry about setting those lineups. You'll get Rodgers' best performances all throughout the season. I hear you, though. I hear you. You're not a fantasy football kind of person. You want something you can touch, something you can feel, something you can leaf through during the week leading up to the game. You know what you want? You want the 2021 official Green Bay Packers yearbook. Head to packersyearbook.com. Use code CHTV to get 10% off. You can also get the Game Day magazine delivered direct to your inbox each and every game day morning. Again, code CHTV to get 10% off. And while you're out there tooling around the internet, head to VINFL.com and check out this sweet Packers hoodie. Acme Packers represent the Green Bay Packers wherever you go. Use code CheeseheadTV to get 15% off this awesome hoodie and a few other fun Acme Packers items at VINFL.com. Hope you guys are doing well. Good to see everybody. Good morning, Janelle. Bubbatron knew where that was going. Tommy, what's up? How are you, man? Morning, Chase. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I see someone who's already commented. Dennis is on it. Packers have signed a long snapper to the practice squad. That's right, people. As Brian says, it's a 365-day-a-year job. They never stop, never close, always looking, always moving forward. Who is not in the Packers Hall of Fame but should be? Justin Perillo. No, I don't know. Nice. Last weekend without real football. Carry the G, people. Corey, I hear you, though. I think some Badgers fans might have something to say about that. I mean, I don't really care about Badgers football, but I know a lot of people do. That game's tomorrow, I believe. So that should be fun. A nice appetizer before the main course next week. Heflin is our diamond in the rough. Very well could be. We'll see. You got to take that next step. You never arrive. You're not done just because you're on the 53-man roster. Now he's got to prove it on the field in a regular season game. But man, the promise is there, no doubt about it. Nice. You get the girls to expand their pizza palettes yet, or just cheese again tonight? Actually, we will be on the road shortly after I get done on the radio this afternoon. We're going out to North Fork to visit some friends. But I believe pizza will be in their future, yes. Thoughts on Charles Woodson with his inspiring speech to the team yesterday? It was a classic speech of I love Charles being like talking about, I don't really want to come back, but if you ask me right now, I'd come back. It's always so funny to me to watch guys like who are the greats. I mean, and Charles Woodson is one of the greatest guys, football players to ever step on a field. I did like how he brought it back to Devontae because it's like Charles Woodson saying something is easy for Charles Woodson to say because he's amazing and great. You know, not everybody is Charles Woodson. But I loved that video, and I loved all the images of him and Al Harris getting inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame. 2 very worthy inductees, obviously. Brian, thanks for the super chat. Funny hearing Wisconsin people say stay hydrated. There's water and beer, right? Benjamin, thanks for the super chat. Nice. Greeting from South Dakota. Just showed up for a flight a week early. Thanks for the temporary escape. We'll figure that out after the chat. Carry the G. A week early on the flight, huh? That's interesting. That's a new one. I've gotten the times wrong before, but never a week early. That's almost impressive. Preston, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Morning, Nags. T-9 days until we kick the Saints' ass in Jacksonville. From your super chat to the football god's ears. I'm all about that. Hard not to get hyped up about Kylan Hill. David, I hear you. I wonder how much he's going to play, especially initially. I don't doubt for a moment that he would be able to handle it, but you've got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I would suspect Hill's involvement will be much like AJ's was last year as a kind of a spot fill-in at times. If there's an injury to one of the front two guys, we'll see more Kylan, but I don't think there'll be a ton of packages that, call for Kylan Hill to be out there instead of one of those two guys. But yeah, you never know. Maybe they work, they find a way to work him in a little bit more than I'm expecting. Always possible. Dreadlocks in his wake, my favorite radio call. Judy, an all-time classic, no doubt about it, with his hand raised after picking off Hasselbeck. Is there a way that I can express to fellow Packers fans that there is a lot of ball game left and we should stay on target all the while carrying the G and letting people know the Bears still suck? Why, yes, Dusty. You should head to the Cheesehead TV store. If you go to cheeseheadtv.com, on the top bar, you'll see a link for our store. Just head there and get all sorts of great merch that expresses everything you're looking for in that comment. No doubt about it. I like McDuffie. Did you see anything you liked in preseason from him? Dave, definitely. I talked about this, I think, yesterday. And I know I talked about it with Andy on our 53-man breakdown. He was so much better in that final preseason game than I expected him to be. Especially coming off, his college tape. I thought he was definitely a lifelong special teamer in waiting. And, obviously he was a bit behind the eight ball, having missed so much time due to injury at the start of camp. But he looked assignment sure. He looked like he was flying around, but still under control. That thing that Kamal Martin never really seemed to get or be able to harness. I thought he opened my eyes, definitely. Now, how much of that is going to translate to the regular season? I doubt we'll see much of him, unless barring injury, right? I think he will contribute on teams this year. But yeah, no, that was I was a bit surprised. I was a bit surprised how good he looked. Hell, I'll take it, especially after how many years of looking for talent at that position. Play clock still running down to 0 every play this year, Justin? Probably. Now, look, we asked Matt about that on Transplants last year because, Aaron had mentioned how Tim Boyle was the get back man when, it's going down 5, 4, 3, and Matt's ready to call a timeout, and Tim's like, no, he's got it. And then usually he does get the play off. And as Matt pointed out, there was that third down in Minnesota where Aaron took it right down to 0, but did get the play off. But Matt had called a timeout. And if they had allowed the play to happen, they would have burned the Vikings for a big gain against the blitz. And Rodgers was clearly pissed. You can just go back and look at the game. Like, he was so mad. And Matt told himself after that play, he was like, all right, I got to trust him. And, yes, have they burned some timeouts? And do I get frustrated with it? I think yes. And of course, I know lots of you do. But as Matt pointed out, man, you can't deny the weapon it is for Aaron. More often than not, he does get them into good looks. He does get them into the right spot. Perfect example is the big touchdown to MVS against the Bears, where he's basically cat and mousing with the Bears defense throughout the entirety of the play clock. And then he hits MVS for a big gain. Now, the big, forget the timeouts and whatever. Like, that's frustrating, but you live with that because there's a potential for a big play, right? The thing where I think it hurts Aaron in the offense a little bit more than maybe he would ever admit, really, it played out in the NFC Championship game. There's a sack in that game that is directly a direct result of Aaron taking the play clock down to 0 and the defensive end knowing exactly when he can jump because he beats Wagner around the edge. Wagner's not even out of his stance yet because defensive end knew. Okay, just wait till 0 and I'm going to go because it's either going to be a penalty on them or I'm going to get the sack. And he got the sack. So that's the cat and mouse game is a real thing. And it's great that Aaron can get them in these looks. And it's great that he does produce these great plays off of it. But there's a danger there. And again, I don't know if Aaron and Matt would ever readily admit to it, but it's certainly real. No question about it. Did Rodgers call for that long snapper to be put on the practice squad? I don't think so, but maybe. Who knows? Is Campbell an upgrade over Kirksey? I think so. Now we'll see. We haven't seen a ton of him. We didn't get to see a ton of him in camp. He didn't play in any of the preseason games. He was in a lot of the base stuff, but I think so. I think he's a better overall athlete and a better player, but who knows in this scheme? Playing alongside Barnes and guys in front of him, you never really know until you see it in the regular season game. But to me, I think so. Um, we'll start to get that answer next Sunday. Trey, thanks for the super chat. Morning, Nags. I'll be in Jacksonville for the game. Go Pack, go. Trey, have a good time. Stay hydrated, as is the phrase of the week. Marcus, thanks for the super chat. TGIF Nags, it's Pizza Friday. Can you please break down what the perfect pizza consists of in your opinion? Here's $10 for that. Wow. The awesome responsibility here. For me, this is not for my girls because my girls would never eat this, but for me, the best pizza in the world is no longer in existence because it was at Frank's Pizza Palace in Appleton, Wisconsin, where they cut it into squares, and it was a brick oven pizza. And for me, it was their homemade sauce, the cheese just right, and then the sausages that they used were just so good. That to me was like the best pizza I've ever had, and I used to really look forward to going home and having it. And I know they think they're reopening, or they've reopened with a new name, but I haven't been since they've kind of rebranded, so to speak. But yeah, old school Frank's. Back in the day when we were growing up, they had a big jungle gym in the back, and we would go and the kids would all play on it. It was a ton of fun until someone broke their arm and sued the place, and then they had to take it down. That just sucked. But that is the pizza. That is just perfect. Brick oven in general. The place I go with the girls every Friday night is a brick oven pizza place. There's something about the way they get the crust is just so perfect. Maybe Aaron and Matt have had great conversations about clock management. Perhaps those chats involved Goody. Yes, I'm sure they all sat around a campfire and talked taking the play clock down. No doubt about it. MVS going to add a couple of routes and be a star this season. Team's really going to have to account for him more. Robin, it's going to be interesting to see how they work him in to the rotation because I don't think it's ever going to be a case of we're calling more than a handful of plays. I think there will be plays that are specifically designed to get the ball to MVS. There's no doubt about it. But when you've got Devontae Adams and you've got Aaron Jones and Robert Tonyan, there's only one football, right? And I can't imagine that more often than not, your instinct is going to be I got to get the ball to MVS. I think he is going to improve. I think he's had a great camp, as you undoubtedly read everywhere on the internet. But he's still a complimentary piece in my mind. That doesn't mean he can't ball out. It doesn't mean he can't put up great numbers because I think he will. But it's hard to see him as a primary weapon in this offense because of the guys that are already there. Now, if there's an injury or two, yeah, that could change. But that's how I see him going into this year. James, thanks for the super chat. Can't wait for football, Nags. Thanks for doing this. How many of our D players went to Bishop Sycamore? Similar wrapping up technique. Oh, baby, what a story, right? Holy cow. I mean, that's just insane. The fact that they got on ESPN is just nuts. It's just hilarious. I love it. O-line's so young. David, there's some youth there, but there's lots of talent too. Just a question of molding it. And I tell you what, if there's a guy I trust to do it, it's Adam Stenavich. He has proven his worth in that regard. Adam, thanks for the super chat. Why could the Vikings play in a college stadium while building their stadium, but the Saints cannot now? I think they could, but they wanted to play in an NFL stadium, and that's their call. They wanted to make it as tough as possible for Packers fans to get there and all that nonsense. I get it. It's all good. Plus, I think, obviously with the college stadium thing, that was agreed upon well in advance. This was very much a last second, shit, we got to find a place to play. It's fine. Just go win the game. Okay, we'll play in a parking lot if we have to. Got to go whoop the Saints' butt. This offense is going to score a lot of points. Michael, you are not lying about that. Pieri Pizza. That's it, Dennis. Thanks, buddy. I'm super excited to see the DeGuara wrinkle added back into this offense. Dude was looking great before the injury. Also, small sample size, I know. Yeah, Andy, it is a small sample size, but you saw the potential there. And it's not just like hitting him on the wheel route or the stuff in the flat, but it's also that clip of him taking out 2 Vikings in one play. Mwah. That's the shit right there. Hopefully we see that against the Saints as well. Apparently they also considered Rodgers' Florida record. Bubbatron. Wins and losses are not a quarterback stat. You should know this. Everyone should know this, even though the Saints probably don't. TKM is not at his post. Calling reinforcements. I love it. Joan, hi. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Nags. Big Nick in the house. What's up, Big Nick? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Has preseason changed permanently to where starters don't even dress anymore? In Green Bay, I think so, yeah. Under LaFleur, I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Maybe next year, if Jordan Love is the starter, I would expect, Jordan Love will probably play in preseason because he's a young player and he has to. But I think most notable vets, say if Devontae is here next year, I expect he will be. Yeah, he won't play. Big Dog won't play. That's just, in Matt's estimation, it's just not worth it. They get the work that they need in practice. Now, you've seen across the league, there have been vets who did play in week 3 of the preseason, right? So I don't think it's a league-wide thing, but it's certainly, in Matt's estimation, that's how it's going to be. I think it's genuinely not too late for Equiminius St. Brown. Unlikely, but not impossible. Robin, I totally agree. It's just about staying on the field. I mean, I have said he was having a really nice start to camp, and then he got hurt. You just got to stay on the field. If he can stay on the field, he can help them. He can be a good football player. No doubt about it. Dave, thanks for the super chat. Last weekend with real NFL games, I think you mean without real NFL games, so close. First play from scrimmage, play action wheel route to DeGuara. Dave, change that to play action wheel route to A.J. Dillon, and I'm on board. Can we get Kurt Benkert on Cheesehead TV? Benny, what's funny is that Kurt and I messaged back and forth this summer, and we were going to do it, and then I think he just got away from both of us, I think. But now I know he's going to be doing, not every Tuesday, but most Tuesdays with Tom Grossi. So you can see him over at PackCast pretty much every week. And it's going to be crazy how many players are on YouTube and or internet shows this year. We got AJ with us, Kurt's with Tom. I know MVS is doing stuff with Game On. Like, it's crazy all of a sudden. Like, I love how all the local TV people are like, can we get a player? No, they're all on the internet. I love it. I love it. How's Za'Darius? Will, still questionable. We've got some time off here. We'll get our next practice report will be on Monday, but they don't have to give an injury report until Wednesday. But the Packers will be practicing on Labor Day. So hopefully he's out there. But right now he's still dealing with that back issue. Really, really looking like he could very well miss that week 1 game, which really kind of sucks, obviously. Hey, speaking of Monday, guys, I will not be live on Monday morning. There will be no Packers Daily on Labor Day. I'm going to be driving back from out on the island. So I will return on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. for your Packers Daily, and then obviously throughout the week. And the return of Packer Transplants is imminent. It will be next Wednesday, September 8th. Myself, Mr. Banky, hopefully all of you. Return of that venerable series. I hope you can all make it for the season premiere of Packer Transplants. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everybody, please do me a monster favor and hit like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you, looking at the numbers, you watch, but you don't subscribe. You got to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Do me that favor. Hit subscribe and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Go Pack Go.